Should I make an LLC in 2024? And the question or the answer is you'll find out right here. So, this is the number one question I receive from all of my 15-minute consultations I have. People coming to me for, tax and legal advice. And, I typically spend like at least, I would want to say 10 minutes answering this question because there's so many details and, here are some different perspectives and point of views and little points that I want people to know about just before they're making their LLC. And this video, if you guys ask me this question, this is what I'm going to refer to you guys straight directly. So a little bit about me. My name is Alan Fay. I'm founder of AP and Associates, where we help our coaches, content creators, and small business go from taxpayer to tax saver by leveraging the tax code to the fullest extent. Now, I've been in the finance space for over 4 years now and tax advising for 12 months and licensed with a Main Street Business Certified Tax Advisor program. I help clients know where they are financially and have saved clients up to $130,000 in taxes in a given year. Now, it's important when you guys make an LLC is that every financial decision can affect you and the business for the business. Now, that might sound a little bit confusing, but all those decisions like getting an LLC, should I continue to be a sole proprietorship or go even be an S corp? Those are kind of, above the question of, should I make an LLC? And some of them are above the question of, should I make an LLC? But today, I just want to focus on this because this is the most common question I have. Now, you don't have to know all the tax laws or be able to file your own taxes or even make your own LLC or anything like that. You just have to know that, I'm making too much money and I'm afraid of the tax bill that comes with it. Now, today, please make your best judgment after watching the video. And this is not financial advice. This is not legal advice. I am a tax professional, but I am not your tax professional, or in some of your cases, at least not your tax professional yet. Now, carry on. Should I make an LLC in 2024? The answer that I always love to give, and every tax professional or some tax professional likes to give is the answer is it depends. Wow, right? I know. I get asked this question a lot, and it's a great question. But the first thing I want you guys to know is what is an LLC? So, by definition, through Investopedia, an LLC is a business structure in the US that protects its owners from personal responsibility for its debts and liabilities. Sounds like being responsible for the bad stuff, right? Kind of. Now, what I like to typically say with an LLC is an LLC defined as you are right here and the business is over there. So meaning the business is completely separate from you and that anything good happens within the business is for the business. Anything that bad that happens in the business is for the business. Now, why would you need it? Now, this is very important. This is the main focal point of an LLC. Like I said earlier, is that inside protection. Anything that happens in the business is in the business, as long as you protect the corporate veil. Now, the corporate veil is this. It's essentially this invisible shield that's around the LLC protecting it as long as you don't go and, hey, use your personal credit card for business expenses and you're not potentially doing the proper bookkeeping or documenting it properly. As long as you're not doing stuff like that, then that corporate veil is protected so that we're getting all of that asset protection. So that's super important, okay? That is the focal point of an LLC. Now, where can you get an LLC? You can go to LegalZoom.com, Busy, which is also Inkfile. Inkfile or Busy is cheaper, in my opinion. LegalZoom, they've completely cornered the market and they're able to charge whatever they charge now. I started with LegalZoom, so there's nothing wrong with that. But if I were to make another LLC, a single member LLC, then I'll just go ahead and use Busy right here. Okay. Very simple, straightforward. You just pay the processing or the state filing fees and obviously getting the LLC done, right? Another thing I want to also add right here, because I just had this thought, is this inside protection. Now, when you are a coach, you're consulting with people on a daily basis or, for your business or whatnot, you're advising them on potentially what systems they should do, what health plans they should follow, anything else along that space, like their mindset, building better habits, all those stuff, right? But the thing you guys to know is people can literally sue you for anything nowadays, and I've seen the worst. Like I don't remember what restaurant it was, but essentially the burger was too hot and the kid burned her hand. And I'm not saying I don't want to discredit the kid, but that lawsuit ended up in like over, I think, $12 million or something like that. I believe 2 million, something like that, going to that child and stuff like that. It's very important that you're doing that asset protection, because what if that business owner didn't properly protect the corporate veil? Like, now the people suing you can, hey, go grab your retirement account, go grab your personal property, go grab your vacational property, go grab your vehicle, go grab that crypto account, go grab that bank account. They can go grab that real estate property, investment property, whatnot. Those are things that they could potentially go after because you're not protecting the corporate veil. Same thing with content creators. I've seen, like, for content creators, maybe they're reviewing let's say a lotion product, right? And they're putting out to their audience, their face is behind it. And I don't want to discredit any content creators and make them scared or anything, but it's like, hey, if somebody brought the product and maybe they, started using the lotion, applied it, guess what? They had a harsh reaction, they're getting a burn or whatnot, allergic reaction. And, some cases they'll go after the company that is actually, the name of the company. Or they can actually go after the influencer that promoted the company and um, sue them too. They can go both ways, which is insane, right? So that's why it's important to have that LLC, especially if you're a content creator and you're reviewing products, you're making, content based on things that are going on in the world or whatnot. Reviewing food, same thing with that. Maybe you didn't like the food, now the restaurant wants to sue you because you reviewed a bad product. Stuff like that happens, okay? So it's crazy. We're in 2024 and you can literally get sued for anything. So it's important to protect the corporate veil, just so that these little situations, they won't be happening and they're going after your personal assets. Now, I was referencing where to get an LLC done. You can also utilize a tax professional. Now, I would also want to add that a tax professional is best for making any adjustments you want within an LLC, especially when you have an operating agreement, you have partners, or you want to add an accountable plan. Now, based on my knowledge, when I first got my LegalZoom LLC done, they didn't have any of this stuff for me. Okay. They just set it up with the state. They essentially white labeled it. There was a template and they just filled in my information and sent it over to me. I know that now. Now that a tax professional, they can go ahead and make those adjustments, especially if you have partners, is super important. It's just so that we can, all the partners, they know their responsibilities. Hey, if this person doesn't do something within the business, they're not contributing their efforts, what happens? Like, we want to include all that in the contract, which is the operating agreement. Companies like LegalZoom Busy, they won't, in my experience, I don't think they'll be able to make those adjustments. And that's why it's important to have a tax professional, CPA, lawyer, attorney. They can make those necessary adjustments, because a lot of things can happen with partners, guys. Like, hey, we have partners. We have partners in a business. Hey, maybe, one person contributed, 10,000 to the business, a startup. The other two partners were contributing in sweat equity, which is, actual effort. And hey, maybe the business needs more money. Who's going to go invest more money? Well, the person that invested, they're like, I don't want to invest more money. I already put money in. Why don't you guys put money in? We need to have these, we need to have these talks and include them in the operating agreement. Maybe one of the partners, God forbid, passes away. Now the other two partners, they have to deal with their spouse as the new business partner. And what is the buyout agreement? Do they continue to operate with the two previous business partners? So those are things that you guys need to consider if you bring in partners. That's a whole separate, video that I can make for partnerships. But I want to continue. So should I make an LLC in 2024? Again, it depends. Now, I always like to point out two different routes for my clients and anybody that is looking to get an LLC. If you sleep better at night knowing you've got that asset protection, 100% we are going to make that LLC. Now, again, the whole asset protection, the corporate veil, I want you guys to know that, if if you're more comfortable and you want to feel secure with your business continuing with it, especially if it's a high risk industry, then go ahead and make it. No doubt without it. But if you want to be capital efficient, there's nothing wrong with continuing to be a sole proprietorship. You'll still be able to get your deductions. You'll still be able to get the home office, everything like that, because the LLC and the sole proprietorship are on the same return. And that's a whole, that's a side conversation in itself. But I see a lot of times too early on with young kids, like 18 years old, they want to start a business. They go ahead and make an LLC, dish out $500, and then the LLC, they're working on it, they're grinding on it, but the business is making no money. We're going on year 2, year 3, no money, year 4, no money, and guess what? They go ahead and just do nothing with that LLC, right? Now, being capital efficient, what I want some people to do is go ahead and prove the business model works. Now, that could be the consulting, right? Hey, go get a couple clients. Make sure that, hey, what you're doing actually is a business. Once we get those couple of clients, let's make that LLC, right? We want to have that asset protection. Same thing with content creation. If you can go land those partnerships with different brands that you're trying to work with, go ahead and reach out to them first. Make sure that, hey, you can get that income. Once you have that income coming in, why not make the LLC then, right? That income is going to offset, income wise, it's the money coming in is going to offset the money you have going out to make that LLC, just so that we're capital efficient and we're not dishing out so much money to make an LLC when we're not even sure if everything even works yet. So those are a little bit about what an LLC is, where you can make one, and my response to when somebody gives me, asking me that question. But I also want you guys to keep in mind, an LLC will not save you money on taxes. Now, I'm not sure where some people got the idea that an LLC will help them save money, but if anything, an LLC will actually make you pay more money in taxes, which sounds crazy. And I'll make a future video on that 100%. Also, make sure you are protecting the corporate veil, guys. Just don't use your personal credit card for business transactions, because then you're piercing the corporate veil. Everything, hey, the business is now personally you too. So what was the whole point of an LLC if you did all that? You did, you paid like $300 to get an LLC done. It just doesn't, there's no benefit to doing that. Just make sure you're using a business card, pay for the business purchases, and then we are keeping everything clean. Okay. Now, also another thing in 2024 is to file BOI report. Now, this BOI report, this came in about, well, just this year, honestly, and this was part of the Corporate Transparency Act. Is you have to name all the beneficial owners within an LLC or a corporation. I've included the website right here, and you guys can go ahead and fill it out. I have a separate video already, and these are for the clients that are rocking or working with me directly. But you can go ahead and start filing yourself. Literally takes like 10 minutes. There's going to be some terms that you might want to know about. You can do the research and fill it in accordingly. Very simple and straightforward. You have to do this. If you don't, in 2025, when that new year turns January 1st and you haven't filed, there's a $500 penalty. And unless you want to pay that $500 penalty up to $10,000 and or up to 2 years in prison, then by all means, go test the government, because FinCEN, which is essentially a sister government to the IRS, they're going to want to know who's behind all these corporations. And the reason this is the case is because there's a lot of illegal activity going on. So they want to make sure, whoever's behind this LLC, we can go after them if they do something illegal. So that's important. Now, make sure the LLC is active with a state. You can go to your Secretary of State website and just make sure and check that the LLC is active in case you need to go acquire funding. You need to request additional documents. You need to go get some money lent to you. Those are things that you need to do in order to keep your LLC active as part of the company maintenance. Okay. And then the last thing is go make some money, right? You made your LLC, continue to make money, go make an impact within the economy, because there's no better time to be a business owner. Yes, I know it's tough. And, when things are tough and you're able to do well, you're going to get rewarded for that. And that's being part of being a business owner, is you're getting so many benefits. You're stimulating the economy, you're providing more jobs, and, we're able to do so much for, the economy again, and you're able to do so much for yourself. And one of the benefits that you get is from making a business is getting paid little to none is in taxes. Okay. So that's my answer for should I make an LLC? It's a little bit longer, but I hope you guys enjoy. Please, if you guys think I, gave you guys some sort of information that, you learned something new, please give me a subscribe, a follow, and, hope to see you guys with more of this new content, and we'll see you soon. All right. See you guys.